with the costume, where every queen carries her country onto the stage. And the winner of this segment earns an automatic place in tonight's Top 21. We travel the world by continent, beginning in Asia Pacific.
ودلوقتي هنبدأ حفلنا مع فقرة مليانة سحر وإبهار. الفقرة اللي كل متسابقة بتقدم فيها جزء من هوية بلدها وتراثها وثقافتها بروح مليانة فخر وإبداع. فقرة الزي الوطني. ونبدأ رحلتنا الليلة مع متسابقات آسيا والمحيط الهادي.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Eco International 2026 begins now. Years of story walk in with her. Her crown carries the home of the Bunyip, the sacred water spirit of the Wemba Wemba people. Beaded armor glows like sunlit sand, and the bodice honors the women who led, defended, and kept the culture alive. That was Adriana Gravador, Miss Eco Australia. And the Iora woman who refused to bow down to colonial rule. Behind her, gold tool drifts like the dunes of the Gold Coast, fierce and nurturing, a warrior queen reborn. Adriana Gravador is Miss Eco Australia. Color of the Pohela Boishak, the Bengali New Year, loud with joy. Her outfit is woven from jute and other recycled materials made by her own hands. Tradition and sustainability in the very same cloth. Heritage you can wear and a planet you can spare. This is eco-conscious fashion carried proudly onto the world stage. Avila Islam is Miss Eco Bangladesh. The snowy owl answers to no border. It follows instinct, not the lines on a map. A protected species, it migrates between northern China and the Canadian North, crossing a changing world in search of balance. It mirrors her own story, Chinese heritage, Canadian upbringing, 2 homes and 1 planet. A quiet emblem of nature's resilience and our shared duty to protect it. Please welcome Lily Shu, Miss Eco. A mermaid rises from Victoria Harbor. Her haute couture gown with the blue twilight over Hong Kong Island. The off-the-shoulder silhouette surges like the waves themselves, and aqua rhinestones scatter across it like crushed diamonds on the sea. With every step, the softness and the sharpness of the Oriental Harbor, a deep-sea legend where east meets west. Please welcome Yan Wen Shi, Miss Eco, Hong Kong. She walks in as the mother of wild. Forests in bloom, rivers in motion, wildlife and greenery alive across her. A woman gives life the way the earth does, with love, with strength, and no end to it. Her costume is a hymn to that sacred balance, a reminder that the day we protect nature is the day we protect our own future. Rima Sheikh is Miss Eco India. The Dayak, emblem of authority and protection. Her shield speaks of defense, the fern motifs of humility. Every color carries meaning. For bravery and white for purity. Tribal heritage meets modern artware, and Kalimantan forests find their defender. Please welcome Nikki. Japan blossoming across the silk, all femininity and grace. The headpiece borrows from the old Kanzashi art, flowers, gold, and a red fan for passion and Japanese culture. Tradition that keeps evolving, graceful, powerful, unforgettable. Tsugumi Matsumoto is Miss Iko. In the forest, the Bunian princess steps from the mist, one of the hidden people to the greedy traveler who disrespects them. Robed in royal white songket and crowned with ornate hairpins, a queen who guards the wild and lets no one forget it. Please welcome Niveta Kumar, Miss Eco, Malaysia. Beginning, she says, with being grounded. Lotus petals root her. A bell's chime guides the path to awakening, and behind her rises a third eye, centered on the Duru. Divine energy, protection, and power. Woven in are Nepal's 4 great pilgrimage sites. The Lake, the folk guardian who watches over children. The Tui, the boldest voice in any New Zealand forest. Greens, blues, and violets shimmer across her like its iridescent feathers, and the wing design carries pure movement and freedom. One unmistakable bird standing in for a whole country's wildlife, and a reminder of how much there still is worth protecting. Phoebe Long represents Miss Eco New Zealand. Lived the storm, Cebu, Typhoon Tino, and the fear of it. When Super Typhoon Yuan bore down on the north, she feared for her friends in Manila, and what stood between them and disaster was the Sierra Madre, the mountain wall that quietly breaks the typhoons before they reach millions. Her own costume is a tribute to that silent strength and a warning. Tear down our forests and we tear down the very thing that shields us. Gabby Carballo is Miss Eco, the Philippines. She carries the Amis, the largest of Taiwan's 16 indigenous nations, and the spirit of their summer harvest festival. Look closely. The ocean, the mountains, and the act of fishing are all woven into the cloth. Her floral headdress honors a matriarchal culture, a society sustained by the strength of women. For the Ami, culture is beauty, and tonight she carries it to the world. Wu Pin Yi is Miss Eco, Taiwan. Vision in white from the banks of the Volga. On her head, the embroidered kalpak, a sign of wisdom and heritage. The silk kulmek is pure as snow. The kamzul is threaded with silver, and her soft leather boots are hand-painted for riding in the open steppe. White for the honesty, white for hope, and white for new beginnings. This is the soul of the Tatar woman, proud, graceful, and pure. Camila Murtazina is Miss Eco, Tatarstan. She calls it Reflections of Siam, where art illuminates truth. Drawn from traditional Taikon performance, it sets the grace of celestial beings against the raw power of giants. These two forces inside of every human spirit. Gentleness and strength, compassion and authority. Held in perfect balance, ancient Thai motifs reimagined for today. Designed by Art Chakrit and tailored by Plangkur, Jessica Ninima represents Miss Eco, Thailand! Returning to our roots, the dragon wins through the design. Vietnam's national spirit and its very origin in the legend of the children of the dragon and the fairy. It is more than a motif. It is a thread back to her ancestors and her homeland. Her message, stitched into every scale, however far you travel, never forget where you began, and you'll always know how to live with gratitude. Ms. Nguyen Thi Tu Truc represents Miss Eco, Vietnam. These are your Asian queens. Travel from Asia Pacific all the way to the mother continent, Africa. The Mother of Earth gives us a goddess, Isis. Ancient Egypt's spirit of magic and motherhood. The gown dazzles with golden embroidery and luminous royal blue drape. A towering golden headpiece crowns her, and feathered wings of gold and crimson sweep from behind. The blue is the eternal Nile, the gold her divine light. The wings her everlasting protection, an immortal myth, breathing again in the modern age. Bint el Masr, please welcome Banan Maher, Miss Eco, Egypt! And the planet turns corner. Cowrie shells speak of Ghana's natural heritage. The tree rising from her crown holds both the fragility and the resilience of our environment. The flowing beads echo her rivers, her minerals, her biodiversity. Tonight, she stands not just as a queen, but as the guardian of Earth, calling on all of us to protect, preserve, and restore. Michelle Asim Apea is Miss Eco Ghana. A Mauritian morning, the first gold light touching the great flamboyant tree, its branches wide and its blossoms a brilliant red. And there, among the leaves, the island's birds singing in the day awake. That is the wonder she carries, the music of nature itself, welcoming each new dawn with peace, joy, and harmony. Kimberly Nellie Grace is Miss Eco Mauritius. Every garment was repaired, reused, and handed down. cloth that carried memory from one generation to the next. Tonight, she wears a vintage Moroccan kaftan, not as a costume, but as continuation. In Amazi culture, blue and turquoise means protection, spirit, and nature. For her, eco-fashion is also remembrance, proof that beauty can be passed forward. Sair Tia is Miss Eco Morocco. Your head to Yimoja, the great Orisha, divine mother of the ocean, the sacred spirit of water, fertility, and life itself. The light on her crown is the eternal glow of the deep sea, a beacon of hope and guidance. Her wide wings are the endless embrace of the waves. She is the womb of creation, the river of fertility, the protector of women and children. Every crystal tells her story. Martha Aji Onazi is Miss Eco Nigeria. South Africa's untamed wild, the leopard warrior. Inspired by the Big Five, her bold leopard print is set with blue and gold spots for royalty, strength, and wisdom, the vibrant soul of Africa. The warrior's spear is a timeless emblem of protection and bravery, honoring the fierce guardians of ancient South African tradition. Commanding, graceful, unforgettable. A daughter of fearless ancestors of her land, Boltalebe Moya is Miss Eco South Africa. For the ladies of Africa. From Africa, we head all the way to Europe. Please help me welcome Miss Eco, Albania. Showing off the culture of her people with a flowing red dress, giving all the culture and all the tradition. She remembers what it is to be Albanian. Sabrina Isufi is Miss Eco Albania. Folk tales, all grace, mystery, and timeless beauty. The gown is the thread between earth and spirit, and she designed and sewed every inch of it herself, finished with beads in her home country. A crown of roses for the blooming soul of a woman, and behind it, a second crown for the burdens she carries every day. Please welcome Anna Bartosova, Miss Eco, Czech Republic. Finland's swan, pure, white, and far stronger than it looks. Her flowing gown moves like the Nordic spirit itself, 1,000 still lakes, peaceful winter landscapes, snow settling without a sound. This is the elegance that never has to raise its voice. Strength and quiet, side by side, carrying the calm beauty of Finland's nature onto the stage. Rosa Kilpi is Miss Eco Finland. Ooh la la. Meet the architect of change. An architect by profession, Louise built this gown the way the future must be built, from what already exists. Fusing a former national costume and evening gown into one, it traces her own journey. France to Canada, where she has lived for 12 years, and now Egypt, carrying French, the language of diplomacy. Her single message, build on history to shape an eco future. Louise Misako is Miss Eco France. Ancient Rome takes the stage. Her gold gown drapes like the goddesses of the classical statues. Power, victory, and timeless femininity. The laurel crown is honor and triumph, once worn by emperors, poets, and heroes. And the bold red cape, well, that's a Roman military cloak. Courage, leadership, and the proud spirit of Italy. Isabella da Spina is Miss Eco Italy. She arrives in white, black, and gold. Peace, resilience, and hope. Her costume carries Kosovo's unbreakable spirit and restless energy. A tribute to a world generation rising now. With strength, with pride, and their eyes on a brighter future. Please welcome Adelina Isufi, Miss Eco, Kosovo. For centuries, one creature has stood for the Netherlands, the Dutch lion, a symbol of strength, courage, and the nerve to lead. Here he prowls through the vibrant, thriving jungle greenery, Dutch civilization and the natural world flourishing as one. Together they carry the pride of a small but mighty nation. Hear her roar, feel the pride. This is the unstoppable spirit of the Netherlands. Judith Borema is Miss Eco Netherlands. Straight out of the Viking Age, fierce, fearless, and carved from Norse legend. Traditional fur details and the ancient tongue of Old Norse run deep through this design, holding the strength, resilience, and honor that defined a warrior era. This is more than a costume, it is Norwegian pride. The courage of a people who conquered both land and sea, their spirit is still unbroken. Abelone Smedrud is Miss Eco Norway! Fado, the sound of Portuguese longing made into a gown. Black lace adorned with the golden hearts of Viana, carrying the passion of Portuguese culture, while white roses speak of purity, hope, and rebirth. The mask tells of generations of women whose voices were hidden behind fear, and the flowing black train is the moment one breaks free, fearless and impossible to silence. This was designed by Priscilla Cunha. Please welcome Natasha Cristóbal, Miss Eco, Portugal. More than clothing, a chronicle of the people's soul. Every shade of blue speaks of life and beauty. Silver embroidered kokoshniks and sarafans carry the traditions of her ancestors. The strict geometry of the ornament works like a talisman, turning the woman who wears it into a hero or a princess. Epic strength and feminine grace in one. Please welcome Taisia Kosolapova, Miss Eco, Russia. Una mirada cambia todo. One look and you're at a flamenco. Fuchsia dominates with overwhelming energy. Ruffles of orange and coral add to the fire, the sun, the passion of the South. The fitted silhouette comes alive with every step, dancing to a rhythm only she can hear. And here's the twist. It's built from recycled fabric. Tradition and sustainability fused, flamenco evolving without ever losing its soul. Dale bulerías. Ana María Bueno Nieves is Miss Eco, España. Her costume carries a dream. Mrilla, the largest aircraft the world ever built. Burned down in 2022, but never truly gone. The gown is a glossy white like the fuselage. A model of the plane rises above her head, and in her hands, the blueprint. Because they can destroy the aircraft, but the knowledge, the memory, and the dream remain. And as long as there is faith in the future, Maria can never be destroyed. Michelle Sholtropa is Miss Eco Ukraine. Give a warm round of applause for the ladies of Europe. From Europe, we cross the Atlantic all the way to the Americas. Please help me welcome Joana Camargo, Miss Eco Brazil. Her gown displays the glory of the Amazon, showing us that Mother Nature never really loses its balance. Her shimmering gold leaves reflect every single plant that breathes life into Mother Earth, with every gem reflecting beauty and resilience. Please help me once again welcome Joana Camargo, Miss Eco Brazil! Comes the Snow Queen. Straight from the Canadian North, her sparkling silver crown is shaped like snowflakes and frozen ice, while her white cape moves like a glacier. Like winter winds sweeping the wilderness, its beauty also carries a warning. As the climate changes, Canada's ice sheets and fragile Arctic are melting away. Her message, protect them before the beauty is gone. Olivier Lou is Miss Eco Canada. Rapa Nui, the ancestral spirit of a people who have always lived by the ocean, their source of life, memory, and navigation. Crafted by local artisans, the gown is set with shells found only on the island. The pure and pipi uri uri walked by hand to capture the living beauty of the sea. She follows the old Polynesian navigators who crossed the Pacific by starlight. More than a costume, it's a vow to protect their sacred ocean. Hangaraki Pakarati is Miss Iko Chile! Majesty meets biodiversity, an explosion of yellow feathers for the tropical sun and the warmth of her people. Pheasant plumes rise like the ancestral crowns for Colombia's exotic birds. The crystal set corset is her rivers and mountains. Blue, red, and yellow fly the flag. She carries a coffee region poncho for the famed coffee cultural landscape and the iconic Carriel bag of Paisa culture, the pride of Antiochian roots. Ana Maria Hernandez Posada is Miss Ico Colombia. Rose, the national flower of the Dominican Republic, found nowhere else on earth. Native to the region of the Bayaibe, it stands for natural beauty, the strength and the uniqueness of her country, and for the biodiversity worth protecting for every generation to come. Tonight, every color and detail blooms before you. Carolina Espinosa is Miss Eco, Dominican Republic! They call it leyenda, legend. It honors southern Ecuador, woven from toquilla straw, the pride of Cuenca, and lit with the famous silver of Chordleg, celebrated the world over. Generations of handmade artistry worn by one woman, a tribute to the Ecuadorian roots and the elegance of its women. Created by Ecuadorian designer Manolo Lure, who turns the soul of Ecuador into art, Naomi Lure is Miss Eco Ecuador. The mother of the waters of Noronha, risen from the sea for Brazil's clearest blue. The fish at her crown stands for abundance, protection, and the bond between women and ocean. The iridescent fabrics ripple like sunlight on the waves, and almost every piece was reborn from old Brazilian carnival costumes. Art reclaimed from what would have been waste, beauty with a purpose. Andresa Sales is Miss Eco Fernando de Noronha! Haiti's national bird, the Hispaniola Drogon, known at home as Caleçon Rouge, red pants for its bright red belly. Like the Carabela dress it echoes, the bird carries deep meaning for Haitians. Freedom, national identity, and the beauty of the land itself. Kyria Selena Romuska is Miss Eco Haiti. Crocodile, the national animal of the island and one of its most endangered. Through bold texture, earthy tone, and dramatic reptilian detail, the design brings the creature to life, and with it, a deep bond between Jamaica's people and their natural world. But the message is urgent. Protect its habitat, protect the island's biodiversity. Our wildlife is part of who we are, and it must be saved for the ones who follow. Sean Andres, Miss Eco Jamaica. the jaguar was a god. Strength, spirit, the divine keeper of the earth. Tonight, she becomes the goddess of the jaguar. Emerald green for life and the richness of Mexico's ecosystems, black feathers for power, elegance, and resilience, and an imposing jaguar crown above intricate beadwork. More than a costume, it's a statement of feminine power, cultural pride, and the call to protect our wildlife. Palmira Ruiz is representing Miss Eco Mexico! She rises from the gold of ancient Peru, the Moche Kingdom, and the legendary Lord of Sipan. Sun discs shine for power, life, and the divinity of the old Andean world. The gold and metallic detail echo the ceremonial treasures pulled from the royal tombs of Sipan. Moche art reborn through haute couture, luxury, authority, and the Peruvian people. Stephanie Schmatz is Miss Eco Peru. America's emblem takes the stage, the bald eagle. Stark white feathers melt into gold, chestnut, and deep umber across an avant-garde gown. The draping and the pleats folding into great wing-like forms. Fierce, free, and proud to the bone, the spirit of the bird and of Kylie herself, the freedom and the strength that America treasures. Kylie Klein is Miss Eco United States of America. One more time, a warm round of applause for Miss Eco Americas. Ahlan! Welcome to Alexandria. Welcome to the world, to Miss Eco International 2026. You just saw 45 queens walk. In one moment, we're gonna give you your national costume winner. Before we do that, I want to thank all 45 of the queens who walked this evening. It takes a lot of work and preparation to come out here. Let's give it up one more time, please, for all of the queens who walked. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the first ticket into the top 21 tonight, the winner of the national costume competition, Miss Eco Colombia. One more round of applause, please, for Miss Eco Colombia, the winner of our national costume contest, securing a spot on the top 21 this evening. Bring out your host tonight. I want to take a moment for something that means something to me, a little bit of gratitude. Here in Egypt, we honor a general with a single word, liwet. And it is my honor to know one. I want to thank you, Liwet Hamid, for opening these doors and making every one of us feel like family. Thank you so much. And now to the man who takes it from here. Ladies and gentlemen, your host for the evening, Mr. Eco Philippines 2026, Kit Cortez.
Good evening, Alexandria! And good evening to everyone all around the world. What a way to start the most competitive night in the whole country of Egypt. How about a big round of applause for our candidates, everybody? Come on, put your hands together. What an excellent presentation of their own culture on this very stage. And by the way, my name is Kit Cortez, your Mr. Eco Philippines 2026, and I am honored to walk you all the way to the most competitive night in the whole wide world. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Eco International 2026. Okay, now let me tell you who these women really are. For a full year, each one has led an eco-advocacy in their own respective countries. This is not just a pageant of postcards. No, these are queens crowned by the earth. Now, for one unforgettable week, all of them have been bonding here in a beautiful place called Alexandria, Egypt, and those 45 strangers suddenly became sisters. Tonight, it all comes down to this. 45 down to the top 21, down to top 10, top 5, and ultimately, the newest Miss Eco International 2026. And tonight, we want you to settle in from Alexandria to the whole wide world. Once again, we welcome you to Miss Eco International 2026, and this is Crowned by the Earth. Now, moving forward, choosing a queen is not an easy task. Tell me or believe me, I know. It takes a whole village to make a queen, and it takes a whole nother village to choose one. Now we will be needing all the help from the respective people from different walks of life just to help us choose who will be worthy to wear that eco crown. Now we proudly present to you the official panel of judges for this year's Miss Eco International. Starting with the woman herself, the founder and chairwoman of Miss Eco International. Please welcome Dr. Amal Rezk. Thank you, Dr. Amal. Her vision is the very reason why we are all here. And of course, we also want to thank her co-director, Sarah De Castro. How about a big round of applause for Sarah? There you go. Our judge number 2, in which we would like to extend our special thanks to TV presenter and author. Give it up for Yasmin El Khatib. Up next, we have Mr. Eco Egypt, my soon-to-be brother, Yusuf Ali. Thank you so much for being with us. We have Miss Egypt 2025, Miss Sama Kamal. We also have Miss Eco Arab, that is Miss Maya Kamal. Miss Egypt 2022, please give it up for Hagar Mokhtar. Miss Grand Egypt, give it up for Manor Al-Saidi. And last but not the least, our very talented photographer, Mr. Rami Anwar. Well, with that, how about a huge round of applause for the official panel of judges? Come on, put your hands together for these individuals because they will be having the best view but the most difficult job for tonight. Now, judges, thank you so much. You're in for a treat. Now, before we move on in getting to meet our candidates individually, we would like to award the candidate who really put all of our advocacy into one creative film. Ladies and gentlemen, let us first award our Best in Eco Video. That is Crowned by the Earth on Film. And the winner of our Best Eco Video earns the next guaranteed place in tonight's Top 21.
مساء الخير يا اسكندرية. مساء الخير لكل اللي بيشوفونا في كل حتة في العالم. من قلب اسكندرية عروس البحر المتوسط، مدينة الحضارة والجمال والتاريخ. بنرحب بيكم في حفل تتويج ملكة جمال العالم للسياحة والبيئة لعام 2026. الليلة مش بس احتفال بالجمال، لكن رسالة عالمية بتجمع بين الثقافة والجمال ودعوة لدعم السياحة الخضراء والتنمية المستدامة. 45 متسابقة من جميع أنحاء العالم بنحتفل معاهم بالتنوع وبقدرة الجمال والفن إنهم يقربوا الشعوب من بعض. ال 45 متسابقة هيبقوا 21، وال 21 هيبقوا 15، وبعدين 10، وبعدين 5، عشان يتم تتويج ملكة واحدة.
Once again, your Best in Eco Video of 2026. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Malaysia.
World that moves too fast. In a world that moves too fast, there is a place where time slows down. Welcome to Malaysia, a land where nature does not just exist, it speaks. From the mist-kissed peaks of Mount Kinabalu, standing proudly above the clouds, to the ancient rainforests of Taman Negara, where life has flourished for over 130 million years. Malaysia is a living masterpiece. Here, emerald canopies stretch endlessly, sheltering rare wildlife. The gentle orangutan, the majestic hornbill, and countless species found nowhere else on earth stand before the powerful cascades of Batu Caves, where nature and culture intertwine in breathtaking harmony. In Malaysia, nature is not just scenery, it is our identity. As one of the world's 12 mega biodiverse nations, Malaysia stands as a guardian of rainforests, oceans, rivers, and mountains, treasures we protect for generations to come. I am Niveta Kumar. I am a model, an actress, and most importantly, I am your Miss Eco International Malaysia 2026. And as I prepare to represent my nation at Miss Eco International 2026 in the breathtaking land of Egypt, I carry with me the spirit of Malaysia's natural wonders. From the lush rainforests of Southeast Asia to the timeless beauty of the Nile and desert landscapes. I believe nature connects us beyond borders, and I look forward to discovering Egypt's rich ecological heritage, exchanging ideas on sustainability, and building global friendships rooted in our shared responsibility. Because when nations come together, we do not just celebrate beauty, we cherish it. This is more than a destination. So come, embark this journey together with me to advocate for our home. See you soon, Egypt. Shukran. Terima kasih.
Miss Eco Malaysia. That is one truly interesting culture of a beautiful country in Asia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Alexandria, and to all of the people watching this live tonight, I think it's time for us to open this competition the way it deserves. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Miss Eco International 2026 opening production number.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just one moment with your opening number.
رحبوا بمتسابقات ملكة جمال العالم للسياحة والبيئة 2026.
Sabrina y Sufi, Miss Eco, Albania.
Rihanna Gravador, Miss Eco, Australia. Avila Islam, Miss Eco, Bangladesh.
Joana Camargo, Miss Eco, Brasil.
Hangarahi Bakarati, Miss Eco, Chile. Miss Eco, Canada. Lily Zhou, Miss Eco, China. Anna Bartosheva, Miss Eco, Czech Republic. Ana María Hernández Santana, Colombia.
Panam Maher, Miss Eco, Egypt.
Carolina Espinosa, Miss Eco, Dominica Republic. Mayor, Miss Eco, Ecuador. Luis Misako, Miss Eco, France. Andressa Salles, Miss Eco, Fernando de Noronha, Brasil. Yan Wenjie, Miss Eco, Hong Kong, China. Nisha Asimapia, Miss Eco, Ghana. Pyongyang Salina Omska, Miss Eco, Haiti. Sheikh Rima, Miss Eco, India. Nikita de Aurelia, Miss Eco, Indonesia. Isabella Della Spina, Miss Eco, Italy. Shannon Andrade Buckner, Miss Eco, Jamaica. Sumi Matsumoto, Miss Eco, Japan. Adelina Isufi, Miss Eco, Kosovo. Niveta, Miss Eco, Malaysia. Kimberly Nelly Grace, Miss Eco, Mauritius. Palmira Ruiz, Miss Eco, Mexico.
Sophia, Miss Eco, Morocco.
Sejal Raj Bhandari, Miss Eco, Nepal. Judith Rosma, Miss Eco, Netherlands. Phoebe Long, Miss Eco, New Zealand. Mata Ajimonasi, Miss Eco, Nigeria. Abelone Smetre, Miss Eco, Norway.
Stephanie Schmaz, Miss Eco, Peru.
Gabriela Mai Carvalho, Philippines. Natasha Cristóbal, Miss Eco, Portugal.
Ana María Bueno, Miss Eco Spain.
Таисия Косолапова, Miss Eco Russia.
Miss Eco South Africa.
Jessica Kristina Niinimaa, Miss Eco Thailand.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. 大家好. My name is King Yi-Wu. I'm the Miss Eco International Taiwan.
Камила Муртазина, Miss Eco Tatarstan.
Nguyễn Thị Thu Trúc, Miss Eco Việt Nam.
Мишель Шутропа, Miss Eco Ukraine.
All right, welcome back to Miss Eco International 2026. How about a big round of applause for our official candidates for this year's Miss Eco International. All of these girls have came from different parts of the world, all ready to clinch that most coveted crown. Here they are looking very beautiful and gorgeous in their purple outfit. How about another round of applause, everybody? Come on. And now the tension will rise up. This is the moment the whole week has been building toward. Every walk, every interview, every advocacy project back home, the judges waited it all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the top 21.
كل اللي فات كان مبهر بس السهرة لسه مخبية سحر كتير. تعالوا نشوف مع بعض مين هيحصلوا على أفضل 21 متسابقة لملكة جمال العالم للسياحة والبيئة 2026.
Here we go. Ladies, good luck. Take a deep breath. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we proudly present to you our top 21 in no particular order. Now, before we go and announce, some of the awards have been already decided since we have our prelim champions. The winners we've already crowned tonight and the seat that you've voted for. The top 21 starts with Miss Eco Malaysia. Congratulations. Up next to the top 21. Please step forward. Colombia. Claim your spot, Miss Eco Brazil. You can still win the crown. Congratulations. Miss Eco Chile. You are part of the top 21. Nigeria. Take a step forward. Miss Eco Vietnam. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Mexico. And now let's proceed to the rest of our top 21. Let's have Miss Eco, Finland. You are in. Miss Eco, Philippines. Well, please step forward. Miss Eco, Australia. Let's hear it from Miss Eco, USA. Moving on, let's have Miss Eco, Peru. A round of applause for Miss Eco, Nepal. You can still win that Eco crown. Congratulations, India. You can now breathe easy. Netherlands. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Jamaica. You are part of the top 21, Miss Eco, China. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Ukraine. A round of applause for Miss Eco, France. There are 2 spots left in our top 21. One of those spots is yours, Miss Eco, Thailand. And to complete our top 21, Miss Eco, Indonesia. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause for your top 21. Congratulations, ladies. And of course, thank you so much for the rest of the queens. All of you are crowned queens even before the competition started. How about a big round of applause for all the candidates standing in this very stage tonight. Thank you so much, and congratulations to our top 21. And to every queen whose name I did not call, once again, thank you so much. We now move on to some of the, or to getting some wise words from the queens that have worn the crown. Rain, take it away.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ahlan wa sahlan, marhaba, welcome world. Welcome back. I thought since we were here and I had the presence of a previous queen, somebody who carries herself with all the beauty and elegance that a queen really deserves, Ms. Alexi Brooks, Miss Eco International 2025. Alexi, I thought to myself, you know what this journey is. You did all this last year. Do you have any wise words to sort of tell the queens?
To be honest, what a journey it was last year. There was so many preparations, so many things that you needed to do before the coronation night. And just as earlier, even since the day one I arrived in here, I was speaking to the girls. They were asking me, Alexi, what was the recipe or what's the technique for success? And I said, you know, each and one of us literally have our own recipe for success. And I hope that you find yours maybe later, or hopefully you actually found it now. But I'm very, very happy and I'm very proud of all these girls. I've seen their preparations. And as I was last year, I'm very happy and I'm still friends with all of those candidates last year. And some of them I get to talk to a little bit sometimes.
Excellent. I was thinking to myself, what a shock it must be, that moment where you get the crown on stage and you hear your name called, you hear your country you're representing. But what is it like when you first get back home? When you're holding the crown, you're the title holder, people have expectations on you. What's it like accepting that moment, knowing that you are the queen for 2025?
To be honest, I was still at cloud nine. And then when I arrived literally back in my country in the Philippines, all I could think about is gratitude. Because what most people don't understand is in order for someone to actually be a queen or win a competition, it literally takes a village. You needed to start from the very bottom. You start from a very young age up until you get to where you are right now. And I think none of that would have been possible without the love and care of my grandparents, especially my beloved Lola Basing, who passed away prior to the competition. You know, I'm someone who didn't grow up with my parents, and I think that that love, that dedication, that vision that she put in me made it to where I am right now. So I'm very grateful to be a Filipina. I'm very grateful to be the Miss Eco International 2025, and I'm so happy for this organization for trusting me and believing in me.
Alexi, one more question. We had a chance to get to know each other a little bit and have some conversation. We talked specifically about the transition from being an athlete to being a beauty queen, from representing a level of physical strength to representing elegance and femininity. What was that transition like for you when you realized, hey, I'm more than just an athlete, I am a queen?
To be honest, ever since I was a kid, I'm kind of like a superwoman. I kind of want to do it all. When I was young, I knew I had a talent in sports because I would just love running away from my grandma whooping my ass. I'm kidding. But I love running. And then, you know, later on, I was very young and I saw someone who represented the same like me. I saw someone who I thought that inspired me and that gave me hope. And then later on, I realized that as much as we think that sports and pageant are completely opposite, there's so many similarities to it. I felt like as you compete, you saw the girls, they were doing national costume and then they have gowns, they have swimsuit and other things. So is in sports. I was playing 7 events, you have hurdles, high jump, all of those things takes years and years and years in preparation, takes a team to get to where you are right now. But other than that, the only difference is you're not running in here. Or maybe they don't know it.
I think the lesson here is that this is actually a beauty heptathlon. With that, we'll take a short break and we'll be back with our program in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. This is Miss Eco International 2026. Welcome back. This week, we have seen the ladies perform in all sorts of venues, from Rixos at Montaza doing the Carnival show to resort wear shows out by the pool. But one that stood out the most and that makes Miss Eco International special is the talent show. We give the ladies a moment to show who they really are, and through it, they show us their personalities. Please help me welcome the winner of the talent show, doing a tribal dance, showing us where she's from and what she represents, Miss Eco Indonesia. Adriana Gravador is Miss Eco Australia. Miss Eco Malaysia. Ana María Hernández Posada is Miss Eco Colombia. Please help me welcome Joana Camargo La, Miss Eco Brazil. Hangarahi Bakarathi is Miss Eco Chile. Miss Eco, Nigeria. Please, Ruiz, Miss Eco, Mexico. Philippines. Adriana Grabadores, Miss Eco, Australia. Wiley Klein, representing the United States of America. Stephanie Schmatz, Miss Eco, Peru. Nguyen Thi Tu Truc is Miss Eco, Vietnam. Prima Sheikh, representing Miss Eco, India. Mexico, the Netherlands. Shannon Andrade is Miss Eco, Jamaica. Lily Shu represents Miss Eco, China. Tropa representing Miss Eco, Ukraine. Misako is Miss Eco, France. Jessica Ninima is Miss Eco, Thailand. Rosa Kilpi, Miss Eco, Finley. Miss Eco, Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, that was your top 21 evening gown walk. In just one moment, we'll welcome back to the stage Kit Cortez, who will give you your top 10.
من بين 21 متسابقة مميزة هنعرف دلوقتي مين المتسابقات العشرة اللي هيكملوا المشوار ويقربوا خطوة جديدة من اللقب.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our Miss Eco International 2026 Top 21 in their evening gown competition. Now how about a big round of applause for that, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. 21 countries, 21 beautiful women battling it out for the most coveted crown of the evening. Now, before we announce and before we do another nerve-wracking cut, let us please welcome back on stage again your top 21. Once again, let's welcome back on stage your Miss Eco Philippines, or Miss Eco International rather, Miss Eco International 2026 Top 21. Okay, I think we're going to do this in a more nerve-wracking way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, at this point marks another nervous moment for the girls and for their fans. For the 21 beautiful and elegant candidates will be trimmed down to 10. Now, girls, if you hear me, take a deep breath. I'm sure all of your supporters are taking a much deeper breath as well. Again, we are about to announce your Miss Eco International 2026 Top 10. Here we go. First up to your top 10, congratulations, Miss Eco, Ukraine. You have made it to the cut. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Australia. You still have a chance to win the crown. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Malaysia. Moving on, let's welcome back here on stage, Miss Eco, Mexico. Taking up the 5th spot to your top 10. Congratulations, Indonesia. Down, 5 more to go. Congratulations for being part of the top 10. Miss Eco, Chile. A big round of applause for Miss Eco, Brazil. Welcome to the top 10, Miss Eco, Colombia. Taking on the 9th spot, congratulations, Nigeria. And last but definitely not the least, to complete our top 10, congratulations, Miss Eco, Nepal. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Eco International 2026 Top 10. How about a resounding round of applause for these ladies behind me? Come on. Ladies, congratulations, and for the rest of our candidates backstage, I thank you so much for bringing your stories, your gut, and bringing everything to this international stage. From the announcement of the top 10, we move on to a much more nerve-wracking segment in any pageant competition, and that is the question and answer portion. Now, this one would be called Topics, in which our candidates will be given a certain topic that they will answer on. This is where Crowned by the Earth. Don't just tell us what you believe. You better tell us what you would do. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our candidates here will have one question each. And girls, you will have a 1 minute timer, and it will start by the moment you start speaking. Speak from the heart. Let us start our top 10 question round with Miss Eco, Ukraine. How about a big round of applause for Miss Eco, Ukraine? Hello, Miss Ukraine, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm so excited to be here and I'm so happy.
Okay,
Having competition.
I'm sure that your fans as well are very happy for you. Are you ready for this? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Okay, your topic for tonight is using social media with purpose.
I think it makes sense to build social media strategy if you want to build global project. In my view, I built PR event company and we are really big, we grow so fast and we organize international events for 1,000 people. We work with Hollywood superstar and I work with Forbes. Congrats me this year, big year for my company. And I think it makes sense if you build global project and you have a big mission, you need to share your strategy and your ideas in social media because you can collaborate all people together. And here in competition with girls, all build social media strategy because we have a global projects. And I think it really makes sense for purpose, usually correct social media, not for fun, but for global project. In my situation, I make... Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Eco, Ukraine. You may now go backstage and just rest for a bit, okay? We'll see you back later. Let's move on with our second finalist this evening, Miss Eco, Australia. Hello, Miss Eco Australia. Congratulations for making it to the top 10.
Thank you so much. Shukran jazilan. Masal here, everyone. Good evening.
That's beautiful. Now, your topic for tonight is redefining success for the next generation.
Humanity wants to save Mother Earth, but unfortunately, it is our actions that have caused her the most pain. That is why it is so important that we act now with an intention and an urgency to heal Mother Earth. And we need to do that by using our platform in order to use that urgent and decisive action. As a sustainable aviation advocate and passionate environmentalist, I work tirelessly to reduce aviation-based carbon emissions by liaising with carbon offsetting initiatives such as Alpha, Arnhem Land Fire Abatement, and volunteering in my local community in tree and mangrove plantings, bush regeneration efforts, and coastal cleanups. And I want to redefine success by encouraging others to do the same in the fight against deforestation. And so that is why I am aiming to use my platform in order to amplify Miss Eco International's message of love and care for the earth. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Eco Australia. Now let's move on with Miss Eco Malaysia. Hello, good evening, Miss Eco Malaysia.
Good evening.
Now, your topic for tonight goes like this.
Okay.
Power with grace.
Power is already graceful to have, right? And I would say that as long as you are being yourself and carrying yourself, embracing yourself as who you are, and spreading your message that you have for yourself, it will bring you the gracefulness throughout your life. In my sense, I would like to send messages. If I were to relate it to Miss Eco International, I want to some message regarding waste management to the people, because we should start taking action now for a better future in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that wonderful answer, Miss Eco Malaysia. Our fourth semi-finalist, if I should say. Let's invite here Miss Eco Mexico. Hello, Miss Eco Mexico. Congratulations for making it to the top 10.
Thank you so much. Good night, Egypt.
How are you doing in this fine evening?
I'm very excited, but more happy for Magic Egypt.
That's wonderful. Okay, your topic for tonight goes like this: rebuilding connection between communities and nature.
I believe that the secret connection between humanity, community, and nature is ancestral, because the planet will not belong to us, we belong to it. In my initiative, Renace Mexico, Reborn Mexico has a clear mission to promote ecotourism as a powerful tool for conservation, education, and sustainable community development. And remember, one Earth, one mission. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Mexico. Well, that's 4 down, 6 more to go. Let's move on with Miss Eco Indonesia. Hello, good evening. I've seen all of you're very graceful with your smile. How are you doing at this moment?
I'm doing amazing, thank you, and how are you?
I'm doing great myself. Thank you for asking. Now, are you ready for this topic segment?
Ready as always.
That's beautiful. Okay, your topic goes like this: the meaning of empowerment.
Empowerment is such a beautiful and strong word because it's something that describes our society. It is one where we connect with the other to uplift and empower each other in this dangerous and cruel world. But one thing we must remember is that empowerment doesn't only stop with people, but also with nature. Because we are not just a part of nature, but nature is a part of us. So it is not only our responsibility to protect it, but it is also our right to bring back from where we came from, and one day we will eventually return to. There is no better time than now, because yesterday has passed, tomorrow hasn't come yet, but today is a gift. That's why it is called a present. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Miss Indonesia. We are halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's move on with Miss Eco Chile. Hello, Miss Chile. You look very beautiful tonight.
Thank you.
Now, your topic for this moment is like this. Actually, all of us will be relating to this. Balancing dreams and responsibilities.
Balanceando los sueños con las responsabilidades. Balanceando los sueños con las responsabilidades.
Yo creo que balancear los sueños y las responsabilidades es algo muy importante, ya que uno tiene que ser muy responsable con lo que
Balancing
sueña.
dreams is important. It's important to
Es necesario ser responsable con lo que uno sueña, ya que uno tiene que soñar en grande siempre, pero con cuidado.
You have to be responsible for your dreams. Dream big, but dream carefully.
Uno tiene que soñar en grande, pero a la vez andar muy despacito con lo que uno hace, ya que todo el mundo lo está mirando y tiene que siempre estar muy en postura.
Sometimes when you dream big, you cause more damage than you want. Take the time, do your dreams with posture, take care to do them properly. And I believe that's the answer.
Thank you so much, Miss Chile, and thank you so much, Rain, for translating that for us. Let's move on with Miss Eco Brazil. Hello, Miss Eco Brazil. You know what? When I called your name, your fans over there are waving your flag. Do you have anything to say to them before we start?
Señorita Eco Brasil, ¿tienes algo que decirle a tus fans antes de empezar?
I am so grateful for your support. It's so important to me. Thank you. And I am so grateful to God because I am living the second chance of my life for be here. So I am dreaming, really.
That's beautiful, Miss Brazil. Now, this is your topics for this segment. Fashion that cares for the future.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I believe that most important in the life begin with awareness. Awareness of who you are, or value, your impact you have on the world. Because, for be honest, the world is a simple mirror of our inner state. So, as a woman, and I hope as a representative, futurist sustainability in the planet, I have the commitment to inspire by example, promoting empathy, respect, and the real transformation. Because I see actions, real actions, like as the most important. Because our values define us, but our legacy sustains the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Eco Brazil. We have 7 done, 3 more to go. Let's move on with Miss Eco Colombia. Good evening, Miss Eco Colombia.
Good evening, Egypt.
Now, your topics goes like this. Inner beauty in the age of filters.
La belleza interna en la edad de los filtros. La belleza interna en la edad de los filtros. Los filtros sociales, los filtros digitales.
El mundo necesita cambios reales, no promesas falsas.
The world needs real change, not fake promises.
Vivimos con desafíos difíciles como la superficialidad, el medio ambiente, la salud mental.
We live with hard truths, the damage to the environment, our mental health issues.
Y no podemos ser indiferentes.
And we can't be indifferent to these things.
Como mujeres y líderes, tenemos el poder de inspirar y generar un cambio positivo.
Women and leaders that we are have a real potential to inspire the future and inspire change in the future.
La verdadera belleza está en la empatía, la inteligencia y la capacidad de ayudar a los demás.
True beauty is found in empathy and in your ability to help everybody else around you.
El cambio que queremos comienza con las acciones que tenemos hoy.
The changes that we want start with the actions that we do today.
Shukran.
Afwan.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Eco Colombia. We have 2 more finalists to go. Let's call up Miss Eco Nigeria. Good evening, Miss Eco Nigeria, and congratulations for making it to the top 10.
Thank you very much.
Your topic for this segment goes like this. Legacy. What will your reign leave behind?
If I become Miss Eco International 2026, the legacy I would like to leave behind is making people believe and understand that sustainability is both empowering, sustainable, and is profitable. I would like to create a world where people see waste not just as things they have to trash, but as resources that can empower communities and change our society and give us a better environment for the upcoming generation. I want to inspire young minds, especially children, to be partakers in environmental change and not just observers. Because real sustainability begins with education, and education begins in this hall. Thank you.
Well, that was wonderfully said. Thank you so much, Miss Eco Nigeria. And last but definitely not the least, let's welcome here Miss Eco Nepal. Hello, Miss Eco Nepal.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing really good.
Are you ready for the segment?
Yes.
Okay. The final topic goes like this: creating hope during difficult times.
I believe hope is a system of power. When we have power, we have the authentic power to tackle any problems. Just like how we can deal problems that we have around environment. So hope is the only way to sustain, to empower, and to create impact in the environment, where we believe environment is all about sustainability, protecting, and embracing. Thank you so much.
Wonderfully said. Thank you so much, Miss Eco Nepal.
Thank you.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude our top 10 question round. How about a big round of applause for these ladies behind me? Come on, put your hands together for your top 10. It is never easy to answer a question impromptu that you just heard on the spot. So ladies, congratulations. Come on, give yourselves a big round of applause. Amazing segment. I can only imagine what difficulty our judges are experiencing right now. But when we come back, it's going to be another devastating yet nerve-wracking cut to the top 5. But before that, don't you go anywhere. Miss Eco International 2026 will be back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here with some of our top 10 queens from the entire night. They have worked so hard to be here, not just tonight, but throughout the entire year, on their eco-advocacy projects, getting their gowns together, working on their walks. Being in heels 10 hours a day is not easy, and if you think it is, then you have another thing coming. But we have a few seconds in between segments. Let's talk about some of the lighter side of pageantry. Join me. I think to myself, ladies, while I'm here, what is your favorite memory of this week? Michelle, would you let us know?
Hi everyone, I come back. I'm so emotional person, and family for me it's first, and it was incredible moment in this competition when my sister coming and make for me big surprise. My sister Mira, Miroslava Shatropa here, and I remember this moment before when we preparing. She hugged me and we start crying, and it was the most emotional moment for me. And I want to say thank you for my family, and thank you this chance to be here with my family. Thank you, Miss Eco International, for these most incredible memories in my life.
Let's take it to a different part of the world, another continent, the Asian subcontinent. I'm wondering, this is a completely different culture from where y'all are from. Would you maybe each mind telling us one thing that strikes you as completely different about Egypt than from your own home place?
I think it's definitely food. Because I'm missing my food from home.
But
it's definitely food.
But that's how you end up appreciating home, is by traveling to other places. Miss Eco Malaysia, do you have anything that strikes you as unique about Egypt that compares to home?
It's definitely the food as well, like Nepal thing. But other than that, I would say in Malaysia, this one is quite unique. Our driving the driver's seat is on the right side, but here it's on the left side. So it's kind of a different change, a nice change to see the road and everything on the different side now. It's nice.
Miss Eco Nigeria, I have seen you rock all sorts of dresses this week, and they all involve some sort of motion and color. Tell me, what was the preparation like in picking outfits like that and learning how to work them and these sort of things?
Okay, for me, I'm always an intentional person. So when I put my mind to do something, I'm intentional about it to the detail, even down to the dresses, the hairs, the makeup, the looks. I'm always intentional about it. And also, I had a wonderful team. My sister Vivian, my stylist Dennis, my organization, we all put heads together to put my outfit together. We wanted to bring out something that would show me, that would speak me, because I am a very, very elaborate person. I like to make an announcement when I walk in. So my dresses were all made to make an announcement. And I'm sure they did, right, girls? They did, yeah.
Miss Eco Nigeria, I want to squeeze right in there. I want to talk to Palmira real quick, if you don't mind. Palmira, I know that you're a journalist back home. You work on some really serious projects. This is a little bit lighter. It's a different way of expressing for your organization, Renace. Tell me, what have you learned here in Egypt that you're going to take back home with you to your career as a journalist?
I would like this project, All the World, because it's the world 14 years in my country. Because the planet, it's only one, you know, it's the inspire the people, the new generation. I believe the most important is the espíritu in Spanish, para mi gente. I'm very excited only.
And I really, really, really want to talk to Miss Eco Brazil. So if you don't mind, I'm going to sneak over here. Miss Eco Brazil, your country has so much life and color and diversity, from the deep jungles and all the life it brings to the cities and all the different types of people. Tell me, how does that experience, coming from such a vibrant, life-giving place, to hear Egypt, the mother of earth, how do those two places differentiate and compare for you? And different, anything, either one.
I think so similar. Is become here, I am feeling home. The people was so amazing every day, and they have so expensive and a long travel for here. So I have one support with the peoples in Egypt. I am so grateful for how, and the most important, similar with Brazil, is this: the love of people, the union. Como dice unión?
Sharing.
Yes.
Like we're sharing this microphone?
I am.
Excellent. So you have heard it from the ladies, differentiating the things that they see between their cultures and the culture here in Egypt. But you also heard all the work that they put in, from the dresses and fitting them to themselves, to getting themselves here and their family here. The travel is not easy. It's a long journey. It's an expensive journey, a lot of investment. These women have all invested in themselves, not just for themselves tomorrow, but for the earth and the future. From all of us here at Miss Eco International 2026, we want to say thank you, and we'll continue with the show in just a moment. Thank you. Ahlan with Sahlan, Alexandria. We are back. Welcome to Miss Eco International 2026. Resort wear by the Mediterranean, and a cultural carnival that lit up Montaza. First, a quick shukran to the brands behind tonight. Our home this evening, the Crown Plaza Alexandria. Thank you for the room, and thank you for the magic. You really are my ecstasy.
Welcome back. You are still watching the finals night of Miss Eco International 2026. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, marks another cut to our top 10. Since, it's a competition, we need to narrow the cut to make sure that we are choosing the next Eco Queen. Our top 10 will be trimmed down to half. That is why, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to announce your Miss Eco International 2026 top 5 finalists. Girls, if you can hear me backstage, good luck. Take a deep breath. And to all of you watching this live and online, don't you go anywhere. Our top 5, in no particular order. First to our top 5. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Brazil. Next to our top 5. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Mexico. You may now claim the 3rd spot to our top 5. Congratulations, Indonesia. Three down, 2 more candidates to go. You can still win the crown. Miss Eco, Australia. Completing our top 5 finalists. You may now come out. Congratulations, Miss Eco, Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, our top 5 finalists. Ladies, congratulations. Each one of you have a chance to win the Miss Eco International crown. But of course, just like any pageant competition, after the last cut comes the most nerve-wracking part of the night. And that is the final question and answer. Now, ladies, 5 women, you will have 1 question each, and then everything is in the judges' hands. So here's your moment. It's not for me. It's not for the judges, but it's for the world that is watching and the country that has raised you proudly. Tell us what kind of Miss Eco International you would be. Tell us what you do with the crown and the platform. Without further ado, let us commence the final question and answer, beginning with Miss Eco, Brazil. Hello, Miss Eco Brazil. Congratulations for making it to the top 5.
Thank you so much.
You know what? Your family or your fans over there are really loud whenever I say your name. Amazing fans. Now, before you answer the final question, is there anything that you would like to say? Any short message?
question?
Let's not do the question. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
One message for my new family in the Drew and for my family in Brazil is thank you so much. I am who I am for your strong, for your support, for how every day in my travel here in Egypt, my family was prayer every night, 3 a.m. for me be here tonight. So this is most important for me is energy, is faith, is what we need every day. So thank you so much, my family. Thank you, my support here. You are amazing. I am so happy.
That's so beautiful, Miss Eco Brazil. Now, let's move on with the final Q&A.
Okay.
Your question goes like this. How can we make sure we stay proud of our culture while accepting others from different backgrounds? Again, how can we make sure we stay proud of our culture while accepting others from different backgrounds?
Alô? A respeito da nossa cultura, e como é a sua aceitação com diferentes backgrounds?
I will try in English because I think it's possible. Brazil is a bigger country. I live in south part, but when my kingdom, like Miss Brazil, I live in every my culture. I live in the culture in the north of Brazil with the indigenous people, with how we have for offer the world. So living this experience opened my eyes for new faiths, new traditions, new ancestries, and everyone is here with me. I am one, but tonight I am one country. So living this moment in Egypt and know more about the culture in the library, the pyramids, and how was a lot special. And thank you so much.
There you have it. Thank you so much for that answer, Miss Eco Brazil. One down, 4 more to go. Let's move on with Miss Eco Mexico. Hello again, Miss Eco Mexico. Congratulations for making it to the top 5.
Thank you so much.
Now, are you ready for the final question of the night?
I'm ready.
Okay. Your question goes like this. In your opinion, what is more powerful? Intelligence, courage, or kindness, and why? Again, in your opinion, what is more powerful? Intelligence, courage, or kindness, and why?
Good night. Thank you so much for your question. In my opinion, the most powerful quality is kindness. Because when you have the courage for change life of the people, you have the responsibility and intelligence for help other peoples. Because intelligence can open the door, but kindness can open hearts, especially when you have the help for others. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Mexico. We move on our final Q&A with Miss Eco Indonesia. Good evening, Miss Eco Indonesia. All I'm seeing is smiles on your face. How are you feeling at this exact moment?
I'm feeling great, as always. Thank you, kid.
You think you're ready for the final question?
Readier than ever.
Okay, that's beautiful. The final question goes like this. Imagine the world in 2035, so that's 9 years from now. What do you hope have changed and why? Again, imagine the world in 2035. What do you hope have changed and why?
I believe that 9 years is a very long time. And a very long time means time for change, time for improvement, not only in our society, but also in our nature. I want our society to move towards a better future, a greener future, a more sustainable future. And I believe that positive change requires an increase in educational platforms and constitutional support in order to raise awareness and ease the process of our success. And with this platform and with this opportunity, I vow to do just that, to become a positive change for our future, not only in 9 years, but in 10, 11, 12, and to teach the children of our future to carry on our delegation. Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
Thank you so much for that answer. Miss Eco Indonesia, everybody. We have 2 more finalists to call. Please welcome Miss Eco Australia. Hello again, and congratulations for making it this far into the competition.
Thank you so much.
Now, Miss Eco Australia, before you answer the final question, your family has been really loud whenever I call your name. That is something that means a lot, especially for candidates on stage, right? Do you have anything to say to them before you answer the question?
I love you guys so much. I'm an only child, so my parents are very, very important to me. And of course, I have my partner with me, and they've been such a great support system. So thank you so, so much.
That's just beautiful. Now, your final question, Miss Australia, goes like this. What is one sacrifice you're willing to make for the future of your country's environment? Again, what is one sacrifice that you're willing to make for the future of your country's environment?
One of Australia's biggest environmental issues is deforestation. And the forests are the lungs of our planet. But right now, we are struggling to breathe. Deforestation is not just the loss of climate balance, of trees, it is the loss of climate balance, biodiversity, and indigenous wisdom. And one thing I am willing to sacrifice is my comfort in order to save Mother Earth. Because according to a recent University of Leeds study, we have only 3 years to change our ways before we start experiencing the worst effects of climate change, such as extreme heat, water scarcity, and sea level rise. And that is why I stand on this Miss Eco International stage tonight, because I am committed to inspiring the next generation of environmental change makers to enter into industries such as aviation and transform them with sustainability at its core. Because right now, Mother Earth is speaking to us. Let us not ignore her pain. Thank you.
Miss Eco Australia, ladies and gentlemen. And last but definitely not the least, Miss Eco Ukraine. Again, we have the last finalist for tonight, Miss Eco Ukraine. You're smiling, you seem happy. How are you feeling at this exact moment?
If it's really honest, I was crying there.
You were crying?
Yes, because it was a very emotional moment with me. And my sister Mira here support me, and I feel this support, and I feel support from my Eco sisters here. It was very emotional moment. Thank you.
That's just amazing.
Okay.
Well, you know what? In pageants like this, it's considered that the sisterhood means so much than the crown, right? It's one of the things that you get to go home with. Now, Miss Eco Ukraine, how does it feel to be the last one to answer the final Q&A? Does it make you nervous?
It was really nervous, and Miss Czech Republic starts screaming when, I feel the sisterhood here in our platform, Miss Eco International. I feel the support, and thank you all girls for that.
That's beautiful. Now, without further ado, Miss Eco Ukraine, here is your final question. As a queen, how could you use your voice to support the young women in your community? Again, as a queen, how could you use your voice to support the young women in your community?
I have a big community for 4,000 people, and as a queen, I have a big responsibility, and I have a project for young women, and this is a project about potential. I think it's very important for us. Beauty, it's not only how you look. So beautiful things in life when you're not scared, not afraid, and open your potential for world. And my company work with Paris Fashion Week, World Economic Forum, and big business projects. And I feel my responsibility help young women open potential and believe themselves, because it's really my true story. Thank you. Shukran.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Eco Ukraine. 5 answers, 5 visions for our planet, and now we crown a queen. Ladies and gentlemen, that was just the final Q&A up to this year's Miss Eco International. How about a big round of applause for our top 5 finalists? I think the competition just concluded. Girls, you may now take a deep breath. It all depends on the hands of the judges. And now, before we crown a queen, a year ago, one candidate stood out victoriously in this very stage. For 12 months, she has been the face of Crowned by the Earth, country to country, cause to cause. Please rise for your reigning Miss Eco International Queen, our Miss Eco International 2025. Please welcome Alexi Brooks.
This journey has never just been about the crown. It has always been about purpose. As Miss Eco International 2025, I traveled across the Philippines, from coastal communities to far provinces, meeting people, listening to their stories, and taking action where it matters most. We planted trees in lands once bare, restoring life one seed at a time. Along our shorelines, we planted mangroves, protecting communities and preserving the balance between people and nature. I stood with communities in cleanup drives, knowing that every piece of waste removed brings us closer to safer, flood-free environments. Beyond the environment, I connected with the youth, teaching sustainability and inspiring the future protectors of our planet. Through health, wellness, and sports initiatives, we reminded communities that caring for the earth also means caring for ourselves. I also use sustainable fashion as a platform for mindful, responsible living. This journey brought me beyond borders. As a United Nations Goodwill Ambassadress, I had the honor of traveling to the United States and United Kingdom, using my voice to raise awareness on a global stage. Every step is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals for climate action, life below water, life on land, good health and well-being, quality education, and gender equality. Through Avance Babae, I empowered women to rise and lead. Through Avance Kalikasan, I stood for climate justice. None of this would have been possible without the support of Miss Eco International Organization, Dr. Amal Rez, Miss Eco Philippines, and Jonas Gafford. This is more than just a journey. This is a movement. And this is only the beginning. And Jonas Gafford. This is more than just a journey. This is a movement. And this is only the beginning.
Thank you all so much. I am Alexi Meika Imoso Brooks, your Miss Eco International 2025, all the way from the Philippines. And before I start my speech tonight, I want to give my biggest shukran to all of you. Thank you so much to the people who's behind the woman that I am today. Being a queen does not just make anything easy. It really does take a village. I was raised with my grandparents. I didn't have parents growing up. We were very poor that it get to the point that we would skip meals just so that we can have the food the next day. But my grandparents always taught me that no matter what, you need to have good heart, humility, dedication, and have a big dream. So ever since I was a kid, I had a hope. Hope that one day, a woman like me, with this skin tone, this hair, this build, will have her place in this world. So this win isn't just about me. This win is for every woman out there who was told that they're not good enough, that they're not pretty enough, or that they can never be who they want to be. I want you to know that we, as a woman, can do so many things if we work to each other. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Doc Amal Rest, to the Miss Eco organization, to Sarah, Nada, and to the whole Miss Eco family. Thank you so much for trusting me and for believing in me. To the Miss Philippines organization, to Mama Jonas and Sir Voltaire, thank you so much. To my Miss Iloilo family, Tita Pangging, Tita Sara, Tita Pane, and Sir Alan Tan, thank you so much. To all the Ilonggos, all the Filipinos, especially to my team who I can call in the middle of the night and find their ways to provide something for me. Thank you all so much. Thank you to my grandma who has passed away before I was even crowned as Miss Eco. I hope that I made you proud. And thank you to everyone who's behind my success. To my successor, I hope that you carry this crown with integrity. I hope that you carry the story of every woman who have walked this stage. Know that this is more than just about you. This is for every woman out there. And this is for our environment. To everyone, thank you all so much. Once again, this is Alexi Meika Imoso Brooks, your Miss Eco 2025, signing off. Thank you.
شعري كان صحي قوي، بصي ازاي بقى بايظ.
بصفتي شخص متخصص في الشعر، في بنات بيجولي كل يوم وعندهم مشاكل كتيرة في شعرهم. البلسم العادي مش بيعالج الشعر من داخل الشعرة. جربي حمام كريم من فاتيكا، مزيج فريد من العسل والبيض. حمام كريم من فاتيكا بيوفر علاج مكثف للشعر التالف ويصلحه ويرجعه شعر ناعم زي الحرير. حمام كريم من فاتيكا، ربع ساعة مرة كل أسبوع.
تسعة من كل 10 ستات بيشتكوا من جفاف الشعر بعد الشامبو. أنا عندي الحل لمشكلتهم. شامبو فاتيكا ناتشرز يحتوي على زيوت طبيعية مغذية تضمن لك شعر ناعم وقوي وبيلمع وعمره ما يبقى جاف. فاتيكا ناتشرز، الطبيعة عمرها ما تجمل.
لأفضل ترطيب لشعرك جربي حمام كريم فاتيكا بعد الشامبو.
جديد زيت فاتيكا بالروزماري النقي لزيادة نمو الشعر. شعرك جماله طبيعي وأحلى بكتير.
رحبوا بمتسابقة ملكة جمال العالم للسياحة والبيئة لعام 2026. Please welcome the contestants of Miss Eco International 2026.
welcome back to the finals night of Miss Eco International 2026. And now we go to the most awaited part of this evening, and that is the crowning of the winners. Now, before we announce the major winners of tonight's competition, we have to give way to our special awards first, namely the queens from each region, or should we call the continental queens. The first continental queen would be Miss Eco Asia. That award is yours. Congratulations, Miss Eco Vietnam. Congratulations. Up next, let's have a Miss Eco Africa. Your Miss Eco Africa is Nigeria. Congratulations, Miss Nigeria. We move on to Miss Eco Europe, and that award is yours. Congratulations, Miss Eco Finland. Two more continental queens. Well, let's have Miss Eco Americas. Congratulations, Miss Eco Colombia. And last but definitely not the least, Miss Eco Oceania. Congratulations, Australia. Well, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your continental queens. Miss Eco Asia, Miss Eco Africa, Miss Eco Europe, Miss Eco Americas, and Miss Eco Oceania. Congratulations, ladies, for a job well done and an amazing performance all throughout the evening. And now, we proceed to the announcement of our winners. Before we announce, I just want to extend, or I just want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for being with us up until this hour. Come on, give yourselves a big round of applause, everybody. Thank you so much for staying with us up until this very hour. To our live audience, to our judges, every sponsor, and to all of you watching this live online. And girls, thank you so much for just such a job well done. I'm sure this moment, this journey will be treasured in your hearts forever. Let's move on with the announcement of our winners, starting with our Miss Eco International fourth runner-up.
Thank you for reward. Thank you, National Director. I just have a question. Where I have a voice highness, but I don't see the MC tell my name, and I need explain from national reason. I give. Thank you. I just need explain from her.
All right. Now, once again, we move on to this year's announcement of winners. Let's start with Miss Eco International, 4th runner-up. Congratulations! You are this year's 4th runner-up. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your top 5 finalists. And now, your 4th runner-up is Miss Eco, Brazil. Congratulations, Miss Eco Brazil, for being our 4th runner-up. Next up, our 3rd runner-up. Congratulations, Indonesia. Congratulations, Miss Eco Indonesia. Now let's call our 2nd runner-up. Congratulations, Australia. And now there are 2 queens left. Mexico and Ukraine, please hold hands in the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, I will announce the new Miss Eco International first. That means the name that will not be called will automatically be the first runner-up. Once again, I'm going to announce your Miss Eco International 2026 first. Ladies, good luck. Here we go. Miss Eco International 2026 is Miss Eco, Mexico. That means our first runner-up is Miss Eco, Ukraine. Once again, your Miss Eco International 2026, Miss Eco Mexico. Congratulations, and how about a big round of applause for the new Miss Eco International. Congratulations. One final time. So much for the difficult job that you carried so effortlessly tonight. And to our sponsors for making every light, every lens, and every moment possible. To Helnan Antoniades Hotel, Sugary Photography or Photography, Rami Anwar Photography, Leo Photography, Saa, Vatica, and George Orrego Salgado of Geo Dance Studios. From all of us here at Miss Eco International, thank you so much. Alexandria and all of Egypt and everyone watching this around the world, thank you so much for being a part of this momentous event. What you saw tonight was more than just a pageant. 45 countries, one stage, one sisterhood, and one planet worth fighting for. This is Miss Eco International, and this is crowned by the earth. Take this energy with you, take this inspiration. A better world starts with all of us every single day. Good night, Alexandria, and let's keep making our planet beautiful together. Good night, everybody.